is chapter 3, labor cost. This chapter has basically 4 concepts. The first concept is labor turnover, and next concept will be labor remuneration system, and third will be idle time and overtime, and then last will be miscellaneous theory concepts. So to start with, first one is labor turnover. Now, as you are aware, inventory turnover ratio, the only turnover ratio we have studied so far, inventory turnover ratio represents the speed of movement of stock, which means labor turnover. Anything where you have turnover, it has got something to do with activity, right? Volume. Now, labor turnover shows what? It represents the change in the labor force during a specified period measured against a suitable index. You tell me, I think a brief introduction we discussed yesterday as well. Is it good to have a very high labor turnover? The answer is no. Too many people leaving the organization, joining the organization is never good. Is it good to have zero labor turnover? Nobody is leaving, nobody is joining. Labor turnover basically is about movement of employees, how many new joinees and how many are left. High labor turnover is not good. Too many people leaving, joining will disturb the regular operations. But what if I have no labor turnover at all? Nobody joined, nobody left. From last 5 years, same set of people are continuing. Is that good for any company? No. Why zero labor turnover is not good according to you? Point number one, you will not have new people, new ideas, new style of working. Number two, old employees will not innovate things, may not be okay for changes, updates, right? Number three, fresh idea won't come to the company. You will still continue to do what you were doing 5 years back also. Number four, new generation is expected to come with more speed, efficiency, capacity, knowledge, reality, yes or no. Even I have doubts, but supposed to be that their syllabus should be much more updated, their studies is much better than what the old employees are have studied and so on. So having zero labor turnover is also not good. Some employees should leave, some employees should come. But a healthy labor turnover ratio is what every company wants. Nobody wants same employee to be with them forever. Why people leave? And if too many people are leaving, what action should company take? To take action, you should first measure whether you have a very high labor turnover or very low labor turnover. In simple, labor turnover ratio is measuring at what rate people are joining and leaving the organization. For that, first you should know why people leave. Some reasons are beyond the control of management, personal causes. When I asked this question in the previous session also, you guys told me health reasons, family reasons, shifting to another city, correct? Can company do anything about it? The answer is no. If a person says I have decided to shift to another city, company cannot do anything. But there are few which are unavoidable and few which are avoidable. All in all, now these points are not very difficult. Why people leave? Unsuitability of job, low pay, unhappy relationship, unsatisfactory working condition, dispute between rival trade unions, lack of transportation, accommodation, medical facilities, etc., etc. This is something that company can do, avoidable. If somebody says I am not very happy, I don't think I suit to this job very well, you can shift that employee from that department to another department, or maybe another team, another branch, another wing. If an employee comes and says I'm leaving the job because I'm not happy with the pay, you can see what way you can compensate him. May not be directly increasing the salary, At least you can give him some extra target and promise him to pay some bonus at the end of the year if he achieves. Some way you can try to fix this unsatisfactory working conditions. This is something that company can sit and resolve. Unhappy relationship with co-workers, either send those co-workers to other teams or send this guy to some other team. But if two employees are fighting, company cannot say you guys decide whatever you want, but I want the work to be done. Unless you have that good environment, you don't feel like working. Company can do something about it, but personal causes and even unavoidable causes, company will not be able to do anything. This is why labor turnover, why people leave organization. And what happens when they leave? Difficulty in day-to-day execution of work. You won't be able to plan because too many people leave, too many people join, new people are little slow, they produce lot of defective units, then somebody has to train them, somebody should be with them all the time, so planning becomes difficult. Number two, production planning, I told you. Number three, overall efficiency. Normally new joinees will be slow compared to experienced employees, but if you have chain of activities like this, where this guy is an experienced employee, this guy is an experienced employee, only he is new joinee and this guy is experienced employee. If this one person is slow, then the entire flow of activity will get affected. These people, even if they complete some work, say assembling, packing, checking and putting a seal or stamp or a price tag, one of them is doing it slow, also entire efficiency gets affected. It is not just the efficiency of this guy. If he is slow, understand, even if this guy is very fast and moves every item to next box, then if this guy is slow, he will be waiting, correct? And now that he is slow, even he has to slow down his work, otherwise everything will get piled up here, correct? And now because he is slow, even he will be slow, and then overall team efficiency will be lost. If four experienced employees can assemble, pack, check and dispatch 1,000 boxes in a day, you take out one experienced employee from that and add one new employee, this 1,000 will straight away come down to 800 or 850, because this guy is slow, because of him everyone else has to go slow. That's also a problem. Recruitment and training, whenever you have new people, you will have to spend for this. Now how do I measure labor turnover? Three ways. First one is separation method. What do you mean by the word separation? Employee is separated from the company. From tomorrow we do not have any employer employee relationship. That means either an employee who has left the organization, or we have asked them to leave, either resignation or discharging. We have used the word asked to leave, which is nothing but removing an employee. Basically all those going out of the company. Number of separation divided by average workers. Average workers is worker on day 1, workers on last day, in between the midpoint, divided by 2. Second one is replacement. Will the answer under separation and replacement be same always? The answer is no. 5 people have left doesn't mean I'll hire 5. I may hire 6, maybe 4, maybe 7, maybe 1. Therefore in this method you will take only replacements. Now why do you hire replacements? Because there is a vacancy created. By whom? Those people who have left. That means separation happens first, replacement happens next. And if you are opening a new branch, you're launching a new product, and for that if you are hiring some employees, then you won't count them under the head replacements, because in reality it's not replacement. To replace someone should be there before and he should have left the job. Now there is a vacancy, you fill that vacancy, this is replacement. Replacement divided by average workers. Last one, flux method. Here you take everything, separation, replacement and new joinees. New joinees on account of expansion or launch of new product, whole divided by average workers into 100. And if you have calculated anything for 1 month and then you want to convert it to annual, then this is the way. Answer that you have got divided by number of days in that month into 365. This is a theoretical part of employee turnover ratio. Now question number 1. Employee turnover ratio to be calculated, they have given these details to you. Read. Find out labor turnover ratio using below information. When they don't mention the formula, you have to do under all formulas. Okay. First one. Do not write anything now. Let's first understand the question. Number of workers at the beginning of the year. Number of workers at the end of the year. Number of workers left. Number of workers discharged. Tell me, where are you going to take these two? Separation method. Correct. Number of workers replaced due to those who left and discharged. This will come in replacement. And number of additional workers we have hired under an expansion plan. This will come only in flux method. Correct. Before we start with formula and number in calculator, do this. How many employees you had on first day? 8,000. Start from 8,000 in calci. How many people have left? 500. That should be what? Minus 500. Next, how many employees got discharged during the year? 100. That should also be minus 100. Next, number of workers replaced due to those who left and discharged. This should be what? Plus 700. And additional workers hired under expansion plan is plus 1,500. What's the number you have? 9,600. That number is matching with number of workers at the end of the year. Correct? Which means question is correct. Right? Now what we should do is to find out labor turnover ratios starting from separation method. Start everybody. Labor turnover ratio under separation method. LTR under separation method is equal to, what's the numerator? First you write full formula. Employees left and discharged to be divided by average number of workers into 100. Please write full formula. Left plus discharged divided by average number of workers into 100. That is 500 plus 100 to be divided by average. Now average will be 8,000 plus 9,600 divided by 2. Anybody? Final answer? 6.81%. Is this correct? You need to check in the question whether these numbers that are given, are these for 1 year or 1 month or 1 quarter? It says for the year. That means you don't have to convert this to anything. If it is for a month, then you may have to convert it to per annum. That is called equivalent or annualized ETR. In this question, they have not asked because data is for the whole year. So you can go to next one. That is LTR under replacement method. LTR under replacement method. That is number of replacements divided by average number of workers into 100. replacement is given as 700 divided by average is 8800, 7.9, 7.9%, or approximately if you take 8% also, that is fine. Done. One more you have LTR under flux method. This considers everything: separation, replacement and new joins. That is 500 plus 100, this is separation, 700 replacement and 1500 under expansion plan, whole divided by 8800 into 100. Anybody? 31.81%. Done. Listen to me. What is this part? 500 plus 100, number of separation. 700 is replacement and 1500 is new join. So it is SRN, separation, replacement, new join is together. Now tell me, separation means people who are going out, correct? Replacement or new joinees, all these guys are coming in, either as a replacement or as a new candidate. Basically you are coming in. So some books consider this as number of accessions. Accession is basically all those who come in to our company, maybe as a replacement or maybe as a new joinee under expansion plan. So those who go out is separation and those who come in is accession. So in some places you will see a formula for flux method as separation plus accession divided by average. Accession means all those who come in, either in the name of replacement or in the name of expansion plan. Got it? Don't get confused if you see the word accession. If you want, just make a note, maybe on top of the page, replacement plus new joinees together. Replacement plus new joinees together is called as accession. Doubt? Yes. Sorry? That's the doubt. AC remote, it seems. Good to continue. Yes. Question number 2. Find out labor turnover ratio and, look at this, equivalent employee turnover ratio using below information. When they say equivalent, then maybe the data given in the question is either for a week or for a quarter. You'll have to annualize it, basically convert it to annual rate. Number of workers at the beginning, number of workers at the end. During the month, 80 employees left, 320 were discharged. This you anyway know. 1200 employees were hired, out of which 300 employees were recruited to fill the vacancy created by exits, which means 1200 can be taken as accession, correct? In that 300 is to fill the vacancy, that means balance 900 is under an expansion plan. So you should know which one will go to replacement and which one will go to flux. That's it. I think this is doable by you. Give a try. First calculate LTR. I will then discuss this equivalent ETR. Question number 2. First do ETR under separation method. ETR under separation method is equal to, you have to take number of employees who left and got discharged to be divided by average number of workers into 100. $80 plus 320 divided by, anybody average please? 8,000, okay, into 100. 5%. Listen to me, don't go to next working. 5% that you have calculated, it is for a month, because first line they said find out etc etc number of workers at the beginning of the month. Now how do I convert this to annual rate? Simple, into 12. But obvious doubt is, sir, if 1 month is 5%, will the percentage not remain same for the whole year also? Is it logical to multiply by 12? Will it not be 5% only for the whole year also? Or 5% into 12 is correct, 60% is annual employee turnover rate. Which is correct? Is it 5% full year or should I do into 12? Into 12 should be done. 5% for 1 month doesn't mean 5% will be for the whole year. Why so? Listen to me. Suppose you had 100 employees, 5 of them left, 6 of them you have hired new, total is 101, average is 100.5, that's okay. So separation and all this is for January month, okay. Now in separation method you will take this 5 divided by average, I'll take it as 100 for discussion. 5 by 100 into 100, it will be 5%. Now every month 5 will go like this, but these two will remain around this number itself. That means no doubt you started with 100 and you may end the year also with same 100 or 101, but in this year you had 60 people living together. That 5 which can happen in 1 month can happen in every month as well. 1 month can be 7, 1 month can be 3, 1 month can be 4, 5 continuous months can be only 5, then maybe 0, then suddenly 10. On an average, the 5% happens per month. That means for the whole year, it should be 5% into 12, 60% out of 100 who are there on the day 1 will leave during the year. But we'll have to do it on an assumption that 5% of the people will leave every month. That's the way I calculate equivalent or annualized rate. Now for example, if somebody asks me how much money do you earn by doing a particular, say, share trading or forex trading, and if I say I make about 3% gain every month, immediately you know what calculation they make? Tell me what's the calculation. If I say I make 3% gain every month, Then you'll do 3% into 12 and say, okay, 36% in a year is like 4 times of what bank can give. Yes or no? Now, what is that 36%? Is it my annual income? No, it is annualized income, because you have taken 3% as a base, which I am earning, but no guarantee I will earn 3% every time. One month maybe 3.2, one month maybe 2.8, one month maybe 0, one month maybe 6 also. What if one full month I don't do any forex trading? Will be 0. Next month I did only forex trading, nothing else, maybe 6-7%. So on an average, when you annualize it, it is not exactly equal, but 3%. If I say I make profits from share trading or forex trading, then you will multiply, okay, every month 3% means in a year he is making about 36%. Correct? So that is the meaning of annualizing. So 5% for 1 month, how much for 12 months? Now tell me in this question, do you know which month it is? Jan, Feb, March, April is not given. Therefore, you can directly do into 12. Suppose if it is given as a month of 31 days, then institute prefers that you do 5% for 31 days. Then how much is it for 365 days? It will be almost equal to 5% into 12. But when they say December 1st and December 31st, they want you to do it on day basis. When you round it off, it will come back to same number. I know 365 by 31 is almost 12 or 12 point something, but they do it. Therefore, even we have to go by number of days only. But in this question, whether to take 31 days or 30 days, we can't decide, because we don't know the month name. They only said for the month. So we are free to do into 12. Okay. Yes. I think you have written till what, 5%? Next line you write. Next line, annualized equivalent, annualized or equivalent employee turnover ratio, annualized / equivalent employee turnover ratio under separation will be 5% into 12 times, that is 60%. Calculate the second one now. ETR under replacement method. Replacement, what's the number to be taken? 300, correct, to be divided by 8,000 into 100, 3.75 exact, 3.75%. Next line, annualized ETR will be under replacement method will be 3.75 into 12, 45%. Same way, you have to take ETR under Flux method, where you will consider 80, 320. Either you write as 1200 or you write as 300 plus 900. Don't do 300 plus 1200 by 8,000 into 100. 20%. When you do Annualized ETR under Flux is equal to what? 20 into 12 months, 240%. Answer under Flux method will always be a big number because you are taking first formula numerator, second formula numerator, and one more item. And 20% of employees leaving in a month is not a small number. You can't run a company where 20 are leaving, or 20 are leaving plus joining plus new. 20 movement in 1 month. 20% means what? For every 100 employees, total 20 employees either have left or have joined or new people. That means only 80 old will continue next month. This is a very big number. 20%. In reality, they are worried even if you have 3-4%. Right. Sir, is there a number which is considered as benchmark employee turnover rate for us to say above this is bad or below this is good? The answer is no. There's nothing like that. If you don't run the company properly, people will leave and go. You will get to know within first 6 months to 1 year whether employees are really happy in your company or not, right? Compared to Western countries, India has a lower employee turnover rate. Indirectly, what I'm saying is people leaving the job very frequently in Western countries is much more compared to people leaving a job in India. Can you tell me why are we good in employee turnover rate compared to Western countries? Sorry? If not this generation, at least your parents, they never left jobs that easily. Most of your parents, if I can guess, they started and ended with single job. Most at least. Correct? Maybe maximum one job they would have changed. But if you talk to anyone who is in the age group of 25 to 35, you meet them once in 2 months, they'll give you new company name every time. Last time when we met, I was in that company 2 months back. Now I have changed. Again, you meet for another function 3 months later, I'll give you third company name. That means the speed at which people are leaving or shifting from one job to another job is slowly increasing now because there are so many opportunities also. Your parents never used to leave a job once they get because number one, opportunities were less. If they leave, there should be another place to go and join. That was less, number one. Number two, even if there were opportunities, they had that emotional connect to their workplace. Unlike our generation, where the emotional connect to work is very less. Somebody pays me 5% more also, I'll leave this job. This, our generation, the thought process is like this. But convincing a person who is above 40-45 years age as on today to leave his existing job and try new where he is already working from last 15 years or 18 years, it's impossible. Most of the previous generation people, they joined and they directly retired. No resignation, no shifting from this job to another job. As I told you, two reasons. One, the opportunities were less. Number two, the emotional attachment was more, which is not there in this generation of people, where we think some temporary convenience is better and we hardly think of having a long term employer employee relationships. And earlier, most of the people, if you say work, for them work means either government job or bank job. Correct? The type of jobs also were very less, and once you settle, leaving that was never an option. Correct? If you have anyone who is 45 years plus at home, and if they are working in a bank, convince them to leave that job. It's impossible. They won't. They'll say another 15 years only I will complete my service and retire. They'll convince you why they should not leave the job. But you have to convince someone who is 26, 28, 30 years, 5 minutes enough. Correct? You just have to give him 2 3 numbers as to why that job is better than this job. He will first accept that offer and then tell these people that I don't want to continue. That means the way people take decision has changed, and that is resulting in, even in India, the attrition rate going high. So there is nothing as a benchmark rate to say this is better, below this is good, or above that is bad. Anything which is healthy, as I told you, zero employee turnover ratio is also not good. Like in some places in government organization, people say that if this man leaves the job, then this department will work properly. That means they want employee turnover to happen. Correct? Some government companies, some government departments, you would have also experienced this. You go to a government office, you see that same person, and you say, if this man leaves, then only this department can work properly, but they don't leave. Correct? So then nothing as right number, wrong number, high number, low number, as long as it doesn't affect your efficiency, planning, and other employees are happily working. 2 3 5 10 people leaving the organization is not a big problem. So answer to your question as to whether we have a benchmark rate is no, right? Yeah. But every company compares their employee turnover ratio with the industry average to know whether they are going in wrong direction. End of the year, you will get lot of market survey reports where they say in software companies in India in last 5 years, the attrition rate, the turnover, employee turnover rate is jumping to 1.5 times, 2 times, 3 times. These are some base indicators, but no company will disclose it to public as to how many people have left and how many people have newly joined. You don't have to disclose this even in your annual report, so you will never get to know how many people have actually left and joined in other companies, right? Yes. Next question, number 3. This is a reverse working sum where you have the answers with you already. That is LTR under flux method, replacement method, separation method were 20%, 10%, and 6%. Left hand side numbers are given to you. If number of employees replaced is 80, find out number of employees left and discharged, basically separation, and number of employees joined including replacements. Can you try? I'll wait for 5 minutes. Give a try, everybody. Those who are watching recording also, don't fast forward me. Work out. Those who are thinking of the starting point, you have to start with the only number available, which is replacement method. Okay. Using that replacement method formula, you can find out denominator, average workers, and from there you can do every other number. First check what is asked in the question. They want you to find out number of employees left and discharged. From where will you get this number? From separation formula. But sorry, to be able to use separation formula, you need to know left hand side, that is 6% available. Numerator you don't know, left and discharge, but denominator average workers at least you should know, but that is not directly available. To calculate that you have to use replacement method formula. So my working note 1 will be employee turnover ratio under replacement method is equal to replacement by average, correct, into 100. Instead of doing into 100, I will write this as 0.1. Instead of writing 10 by 100 and then doing into 100, I'll take it as 0.1 is equal to 80 by average. Cross multiplication, average number of workers will be 800. Using this, you can do employee turnover ratio of separation method, where you will get left plus discharged by average, and the answer is already given to you 6%, so 0.06, correct, should be equal to left plus discharge, which you don't know, divided by 800. Do you get 48? When you cross multiply, 48 employees have left and discharged. Together, basically this is separation. Is everything correct till here? Okay. What else they want? Number of employees joined including replacement. When they say joined including replacement, then they want the entire accession. That is replacement also, new joinees also. That means you have to use Flux method. Employee turnover ratio under Flux method is equal to left plus discharged, replacement and new joinees, correct. Left plus discharge, can I write it as separation? Separation plus replacement plus new joinees divided by average. This number is 0.2 is equal to left plus discharge is separation, 48 plus 80 plus new divided by 800. So this will be what? 160 is equal to 48, 80 plus new joinees. Finally 32, what's the number? 32 new joinees. New joinees who came in under expansion plan. But the question says they want you to show total employees joined including replacement. So total employees joined, including replacement is equal to 32 and 80. 112, is it? This is the final number. Completed? Yes. Now, before I continue to question number 4, I want you guys to try one sum from part B now itself. This was a question paper problem. I recommend you don't copy anything from answer. Page number 76, question number 20. This was a exam question paper problem for 10 marks, page 76. Here one thing you must observe, all of you, just give me 1 minute to explain and then I'll give you time to solve. It says all the details regarding number of employees in a shopping mall for the month of December, and they have given number of employees on first day and last day. Therefore, when you calculate annualized ETR, whatever answer you get for 1 month will be divided by 31 and then multiplied by, here they have given assuming 360 days in a year. So I prefer, if the month name is given, you know number of days, so you please do divided by 30 or 31 as applicable. December, so it is 31. Okay. Now, employees on first day, employees on last day given. During December, 40 resigned, 60 discharged, 300 recruited. Out of 300, 225 were recruited for an expansion and the balance were recruited due to exit of employees, means this is replacement. Assuming 365 days, calculate ETR and equivalent annual ETR by applying replacement, separation and flux. You might have studied separation first, but if question is in this order, you have to present the answer in the same order. I want replacement to be the first answer. Go in the order. Can you guys try? First, LTR under replacement method is equal to number of replacement by average number of workers into 100. As per the question, I'm reading from text. It says 300 employees were recruited. Out of 300, 225 were recruited for expansion and rest were recruited due to exit of employees. That means that 75 is what I should take. So 75 by average will be 900 plus 1100 by 2000 into 100. What's the number? 7.5%. Understand, this is for the month of December and you need to convert it for a year. So annualized ETR will be 7.5 for 31 days into 365 days. 88.3% I'll take. Done. Next, second sub question is LTR under separation. So that is number of separations divided by average into 100. Number of separation here is 40 plus 60 by average was what, 1000? 1000 into 100 now. This is what, 10%? Annualized is 10% for 31 days. What's the number for 365? 117.7% approximately. If you just do into 12, because it's a month, you get 120. Here you are getting 117.7, almost 118. The 31 and 365, that will cause us a difference. One last thing is LTR under flux. Here I have to take separation plus replacement plus new joinees whole divided by average into 100. So this will be 40 plus 60 plus, either you show 300 or 75 plus 225. Anything is okay, by 1000 into 100. Anybody? 40%. Monthly itself is 40%. Okay. So annualized ETR under flux will be 40% for 31 days. What's the number for 365? 470.9%. This is your final answer. Done. Just check whether answers are matching. 7.5 and 88.3, 10 and 117.7, 40 and 470.9 or 471%. Done. And to my surprise, this was a 10 marks question, okay, which according to me should not be asked for 10 every time I say I know the reaction. But this is, honestly, do you also agree that it's not a 10 marks question? Honest answer, please. I know you want it to be 15 also, you're happy. I know that. 5 marks for each method. Correct? But then honestly, it's not. It's not. They could have asked another small theory question for 2 marks and made it 8 and 2 or 7 and 3 or something like that. But this was a question paper sum. So good if you get such 2-3 questions. I've told you already that paper won't be easy. It's the mind game. When you enter, if you believe that you can solve the whole paper, there is a high chance. You may not solve whole paper, but whatever you solve, at least you do it well. But if you go with negative energy, then even if you know the subject, that negative energy is lack of confidence, that whatever you come out and say, tension, fear, worry, etc., etc. Some students even tell me this, sir, in CA exam, validators are relaxed, but we are tensed. And in BCom exam, we are relaxed and the validators who should check our answers are tensed. With the way we write, they will forget what they know also. That's the kind of answer sheet we write. But understand, these are the kind of questions that you get in exam. Then it's not a difficult exam to crack, only if you know that it's the mindset problem that we have before entering. If we decide that exam will be difficult, then even easy questions you won't be able to solve. So keep that positive attitude now also, while entering exam hall also. Okay. Question number 4. Come back. page 66. A Limited sold 66 lakh rupee worth goods in the previous year with a profit ratio of 20% on 66 lakh. Total number of hours worked were 3,45,000, which includes 30,000 hours for training, out of which 50% was unproductive. You have to properly segregate things. Total 345,000 hours, which includes 30,000 training hours, which means the balance is fully working hours without any confusion. In this training hours also, there is some productive training and there is some unproductive training. Half this side, half that side. During this year, company faced high labor turnover, which means too many people have left and you had to replace all of that. As a result of the same, as a result of delay in replacing the resigned employees, a total of 75,000 productive hours were lost during the year. Now, sir, what is this delay in replacing the resigned employees? Understand, someone leaves on 10th January doesn't mean you will have somebody on 11th January itself. That man may not give proper notice, may quote some emergency reason, and 9th January night he may call and say from 10th I am not coming. Some health reason, some personal reason, he meets with an accident and he says I can't come out for 1 year. So consider this as my last working day, etc. etc. So how will you replace that employee overnight? Now 10th is his last working day and new candidate will join on say 20th. That means 10 days are gone. In that say one Sunday is gone. So 9 working days. 9 working days into assuming 9 hours a day. That means 81 productive hours are gone. Like this, for the whole year, you had lost 75,000 productive hours. One guy left on March 10th and you replaced that position on say April 15th. Now March 10th to April 15th is almost 35 days. In that Saturday, Sunday, you take out also 20 working days, 20-25. 9 hours is straight away 200 productive hours lost. Correct? Like this, all total for the year came to 75,000 hours. Training cost and selection cost amounted to 40,000 and 35,000. This is happening because there was too much of labor turnover. You had to hire them, train them, interview, and all of that expenditure. Calculate the loss of profit due to labor turnover. How do I calculate loss of profit? First of all, now this part you don't copy. Do you know how many hours we had for the whole year last year? 3,45,000. Did we work for this many hours? No. There the line says including some training, correct? That means out of this there is some training period, training hours, then I can call balance as working hours, correct? Here there is no confusion. How many hours of training we gave? 30,000, and balance will be what? 315. This is working hours. This is anyway productive, no confusion in this. What about training? Normally when a new employee joins, you will not take him to factory production floor directly and say start working. First 2-3 days you may give training, not in factory, maybe in a training room. You will show what all your products are, what all your machines, your design, etc. etc. That training is unproductive because he is not producing anything. Once he completes that unproductive, a kind of meeting type of training, then you will take him to production floor, you will show him how to produce, and you will tell him you now try. I will teach you, you parallelly try. That means even when it is training, there is some production happening. That's why they have segregated the training into, see, 50% is unproductive, which means balance 50% is what? Productive training. Sir, what if this breakup is not provided? Then you consider entire training as unproductive. If it is not given, but entire training will never be unproductive. Understand that. you will do some work even when you call it as training. You won't give production training fully in a classroom environment. You have to take them to production floor, stand next to machine, learn there while working. That means some part of training will be productive. Here they say 50% is unproductive. That means this is 15,000, and then balance 50% of the training is productive. Which means, can I consider these two numbers as productive hours for the previous year? Working is anyway productive. Even during training for 15,000 hours, you are producing something. Therefore, total productive hours for the previous year was 3,30,000 hours. Did you understand till this? Now, do you know how much you have sold in the previous year? Sales for the previous year. Sales for the previous year is 66 lakh. And how much of profit you made from that sale? 20%. So 20% of 66 lakh. How much you get? Anybody? 1320,000. This is your profit for the whole year. And just now I calculated productive working hours for the whole year. So I can now do 13,20,000 rupees divided by 3,30,000 hours. I get what? 4 rupees or 5 rupees? 4 rupee. Can you tell me what is the meaning of 4 rupee here? This will be the profit per productive hour. Are you following? Total sales, total profit using this many productive hours. That means profit earned per productive hours is equal to 4. Do you know how many hours you have lost in this year because of the delay? 75,000 watt hours, productive hours. If one productive hour can generate 4 rupee of profit to you, then in 75,000 hours you could have generated 3 lakh rupees of profit, and now you have lost it because there was delay in filling the vacancies. Did you understand? Now, is it only 3 lakh that you lost? No. After that, you have the training and selection cost. Even that will get debited to P&L. Even that will be a loss to you. How much is that? Another 40,000 and 35,000. So this 3 lakh plus those two together will be 3,75,000. This is the impact of labor turnover to my company. Did you understand? Start writing. Working note 1. Question 4. Working note 1. Computation of productive hours start with total hours 3,45,000. Under that 2 arrow marks. Question clearly says that 3,45,000 including 30,000 of training. So this 30,000 was part of 345. If this is 30,000, then balance is my working hours. $315,000. Out of this, half of this training was unproductive. Which means the other half was productive. That is, balance was productive. That is 15,000. Therefore, next line after the chart, total productive hours is equal to 15,000 plus 315,000 is equal to 330. Remember, the 15,000 that I have taken is this one. It is same number. So I wrote always take productive training hours and working hours. Next, working note 2. Done till this? Working note 2, computation of profit per hour, per productive hour. Start first, sales is equal to rupees 66 lakhs. Profit is equal to 66 lakh into 20%. One three two zero. Next, profit per productive hour will be 1320000 divided by 3,30,000 hours. Rupees 4. Now the main part, the last part. Therefore, total loss of profit is equal to total loss of profit is equal to 1 by 1a loss during 75,000 hours is equal to 75,000 into 4, 3 lakh, correct? Plus what else you have? Training and then selection. $40 and $35. $375,000 is total loss due to labor turnover. Mark this 5th as important question. Jyoti Limited wants to ascertain the profit lost during the year 2017-18 due to increased labor turnover. For this purpose, it has given you the following information. Training period of the new recruits is 50,000 hours. During this period, their productivity is 60% of the experienced worker. The time required by an experienced worker is 10 hours per unit. Now some basic calculations. Do it. First, how many hours you spent in training new guys? 50,000 hours. Why are you training new people? Because some experienced employees have left, correct? Suppose there was no labor turnover, then how many units they would have produced? How to calculate that? 50,000 hours divided by 10 hours to produce one unit, they would have produced 5,000 units, correct? Yes or no? Now, do you think the new recruits will also produce 5,000 units in 50,000 hours? No. Why? Because it's given there that during this training period, the productivity will be only 60%. That means these guys can produce only 3,000 units in the same time. Are you following? I quickly repeat. 50,000 hours we spent in training new employees. And why are we training these guys? Because experienced employees have left. If experienced employees had stayed back in the company, they would have produced 5,000 units in 50,000 hours. But even the new employees are producing, but not with same level of productivity. They can work only at 60% when compared to experienced guys. That means if these people can produce 5,000 units, the new guys can only produce 3,000 units. That means straight away we have lost 2,000 units of production. Is this clear first? Everybody, next. 20% of output produced during training period was defective. First of all, 60% efficiency. They produced only 3,000. Out of what they have produced also, 20% of those 3,000 units were defective. Now tell me, if you have defective, what you have to do? Rework, reprocess, whatever is the correction you have to fix it. Cost of rectifying these defectives will be 25 rupee. In calculator, they have produced 3,000 units during training. In that, 20% of production will have defectives, that is 600 units, and each unit you will have to rectify. That will cost you another 25 rupee. 1 5. This much you will lose only to fix the problem created by new employees. Understanding? First of all, production we have lost. Number two, in what they have produced, 20% is defective. That has to be reworked. For that, there is again cost. Next, potential productive hours lost due to delay in recruitment were 1 lakh hours. First and second adjustment is after they join us. The gap between experienced employee leaving and new employee coming, that itself is 1 lakh productive hours. Are you understanding? The time gap between an experienced employee leaving and the new employee coming there itself is 1 lakh hours. And tell me, if those employees had not left, in this 1 lakh hours also, 1 lakh hours divided by 10 hours per unit, they would have produced 10,000 units. That also we lost. Following. Now you combine all three. There was a gap in hiring, we lost 10,000 units. We hired and their efficiency was below 100%, because of which we lost another 2,000. They produced only 3,000. In that, 20% is defective. That rework is also cost to us. Following? Then to find out the rupee impact of all this, what we did so far is only units. Rupee impact, they said find out using selling price and the profit that we have given. 1 unit will give you 180 rupee of sales and the profit of 20%. That's what, 36 rupee per unit. That means each unit lost will cost you 36 rupee. Now you know how big the number would be. First of all, 10,000 units, then shortage of 2,000 units, then that rectification cost. On top of all that, settlement cost of the workers who have left the organization, recruitment cost to hire these people, the HR companies, agencies that interview, all that cost. And once they join, the training that you have given, for that maybe you hired some external trainer because other workers were busy, their expenditure is another 113, 180. They want you to calculate the profit that you have lost due to increased labor turnover in 2017-18. A little big problem. If they ask, it should be for 10 marks. Have you understood the question first full? Let's start. First, working note 1. Question 5. Working note 1. Output lost due to labor turnover. Output lost due to labor turnover. That is, first, due to delay in recruitment. How many hours we have lost? 1 lakh hours. And experienced employees will normally take 10 hours to produce 1 unit. So 10 hours per unit. That means here we lost 10,000 units. Right? Number 2, due to low productivity. Due to low productivity. Now tell me how to calculate this. How many hours of training was provided? 50,000 hours, correct? Expected production by experienced worker is equal to 50,000 hours divided by 10 hours per unit. All this in inner column, please. They would have produced 5,000 units. They would have produced 5,000 units. But actual production by new recruits is equal to what? Their productivity was only 60%. So they produced only 60% of 5,000 units, that is 3,000 units. Therefore, loss of production is equal to 5000 minus 3000, which comes to 2000 units. Total you have lost 12,000 units. Done. Other things can be done in main answer, so I'm directly going to main answer now. Computation of loss of profit for the year, particulars and amount. Particulars and amount. First, loss of profit is equal to how many units you have lost. 12,000 units. Tell me now, how to calculate loss of profit? Do you know selling price per unit? Do you know profit percentage? 180 rupees into 20%. Anybody? 4,32,000. Okay. Go in the order. What else is to be taken? Training period adjustment done. Second is the defective piece that has to be rectified, that cost. So next, cost of rectifying defective units. Cost of rectifying defective units. First of all, how many units they produced during training hours? New employees only 3,000. So that is 3,000 units they produced during training period. In that, what is the expected percentage of defective production? 20%. That many units, and to rectify those units you will have to pay 25 rupees, 15,000. Next, what else do you have? Settlement cost, recruitment cost, and training cost. You can just copy all three. Settlement cost, recruitment cost, training cost. $183,480, $156,340, and $113,180. Anybody? Exact, you get? A typical account student will normally be happy when he gets number like this at the end. Even if you have done a mistake, if the final number is like this, you think it's correct. If this number was 933, 333, then you would have rechecked the total. If it is 9 lakh, then looks good. The feel good factor of seeing a number like this. But in costing, one number if you get, you're happy. In accounts, two numbers should be same. That's a big problem there. One 9 lakh is not enough. Two sides 9 lakh should be there. So, one good thing with costing paper is you have nothing to tally anywhere. Tell me, we have solved so many problems. Where did we say that these two numbers match? Then only answer is correct. OCCC, correct. Ordering cost and carrying cost. You don't have to match, it will automatically match if EOQ is correct. Correct? And in accounts, after doing for 45 minutes, and then at the end when you realize that numbers are not matching and you don't know from where to search, that's the difficult thing. Difficult thing is not seeing a balance sheet without two equal numbers. Difficulty starts from there to find out where is the missing figure. But in costing, it is advantage. Whatever I write in exam hall, that should be correct because I don't know how to check. Correct? Take it that way. Whatever comes is the correct answer. Even if it is 833, 333, that is correct. In accounts, you see nothing ends like this. Two balance sheets, 833, 333 will never happen. Total will always be clean number. 9 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh. Correct? But in costing only you have 17.3, 18.1 and so on. I could see that relaxed feeling when it was exactly 9 lakh. That's why I told you. Yes. Right. So this is how you evaluate the impact of labor turnover. First, we discussed what is labor turnover, reason, effect, and then ratios, and then the monetary impact like this. One last part if we learn in labor turnover, and that will be completion of labor turnover concept. How should company bring labor turnover ratio under control? What is that company can do to fix this problem? Now, this is a problem. High labor turnover is a problem. How do we fix it? First, before trying to detect what has gone wrong, do all such things which can keep an employee happy, which means a good working environment, a good culture in the company, a safe working place, a competitive environment, not a conflicting or fighting environment, good remunerative salaries. Out of 5, even if you do last one which I told you, remunerative pay, that will keep 80% of employees in the company. Even if other things are not so good, people will still be okay. Correct? But alone with money, you can't keep all employees. Some people, even if you increase their salary, they say, I am leaving. I'm sorry, I'm not liking this work at all. Correct? What companies do is they conduct something called exit interview. Exit interview. That means when you are leaving on the last working day, now everything is over. You have resigned, you have been relieved from your duty, you have returned your ID card also, laptop also, everything. You are no more an employee. But today is your last day. Last thing you do in any company is exit interview, where a HR manager will take that interview, because first interview also they only take when they have to take you on board. And now exit interview also they do. And what is that they discuss in exit interview? They try to understand what is the reason. Why are you leaving? Were you not satisfied with salary? If that is the reason, did you discuss it prior? Did you negotiate? And if salary was not the reason, they try to understand what is the reason. And many employees talk openly only there, because last day, last hour, there is nothing for you to lose. You don't have to see even that HR manager tomorrow. Forget your boss. Correct? Some people leave because of the boss, the culture, the nature they don't like. But when they are in the company, if they say, I don't like my boss, then you will be considered as not a good team player. Correct? So they say you have to adjust, you should learn how to work with all such people. So last day, last 1 hour, when you have exit interview, you can say anything. Correct. So one thing that company does is try to understand the reason. That is in exit interview. Before that happens, you create that environment where people don't leave. There are a lot of companies even in India where their employee turnover rate is very very less, and people won't leave their job even if you offer them 20% hike in some other company. They say, I'm happy here, I'm not coming. There are many companies like this. That means salary is one, promotion is another, learning and development is third, preventive actions always better. If prevention is not possible, something has gone wrong and this man has left, at least understand why he is leaving in exit interview, right? In part B, you have one theory question which is connected to what I discussed just now. So you can read it today at home. I'll just show you that question. This one, 21. Discuss the remedial steps to be taken to minimize labor turnover. Just now I told you, conducting the exit interviews, job analysis and evaluation. You should have a scientific system of recruiting, placing and promoting the employees. It should not be very ad hoc. And then organization should create a healthy atmosphere, providing education, medical, housing facility for workers. All of this may not be possible. Whatever is possible, at least you should do. Committee for setting workers grievances. When someone has a problem, say harassment by senior employees or boss or co-workers, where should that employee go? With whom should he share his problem? So there should be a system, a setup where he can share the problem and let that be fixed before he takes a decision to leave the company. So one way of bringing labor turnover is having a proper grievance system. It shouldn't so happen that he first puts resignation and then in exit interview he says that I was harassed by my co-workers. You should have told it long back. And then employee will ask, how will I tell? Whom should I tell? Where is the system? So the only time you will take me seriously is when I resign. This is the problem. When you are in the company and you ask for extra salary, your boss and HR will tell you why you should not ask for extra salary. They'll tell you what all that you did not do. Correct? And the next day you resign. And then they come and say why you should not leave the company, how important you are to the company, how knowledgeable, talented, etc. you are to the company. So always after you resign, you get good feelers about the company. Correct? People will talk to you nicely because anyway you are leaving. At least friendship can be maintained, if not colleague relationship. Friendship can be maintained. But then that is all later. You should not let that happen. If there are problems like harassment and other issues, you should have a system where people can flag this, that look, I am facing a problem, I need to talk to somebody. Do you have a system where I can share my problems? If you don't have any system, then I'm sorry, I can't work, then I'll resign, and then you don't ask me why I resign. First itself you set up a system. So companies should do, and most of the companies have these things. Okay, they can ask you this question as well. So labor turnover in total, what we studied is what is labor turnover, what are the reasons, what are the effects, how to calculate under 3 different formulas, and what is the monetary effect, the last 2 problems, and then how do you bring labor turnover to a lower or acceptably lower number. You can never bring it down to 0. Did you understand? Yes. This labor turnover is one part of the labor chapter. Now, second part of this chapter is labor remuneration system. That is here. What is labor remuneration system? How do you pay salary to your workers? That too, in this chapter, our focus is only direct labor, direct workers. All indirect labor is covered in overhead chapter. This chapter is only about direct labor. Sir, what do you mean by how to pay salary? Isn't that obvious? It is not straight simple as you think. Let's do a small exercise. You'll get to know how difficult this remuneration decision is. I want to see hands when I ask questions. If you are an employee and you have joined a factory as an employee, and if your boss gives you two options to choose, either your wages are paid on the basis of time, wages are paid on the basis of time, either weekly, monthly, fixed amount, or option B, wages are paid on the basis of number of units you produce. Understanding? One is linked to your time, second is linked to your output. And if you have to choose one among the two, I want to see how many of you would prefer wages based on time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. How many of you want your wages to be paid on the basis of units you produce? Okay. Those who did not raise hands for either of the questions, don't come to class after break. You don't deserve to learn this chapter itself. Now, those who said I want salary on time basis, that is weekly salary or monthly salary, may I know what is the reason? Those first 7, 8 students, where are they? 1, 2, any of you can answer. So you will be paid salary even during holidays. Number 1, okay. So irrespective of how much you produce, you are safe, you will get your payment. Okay. Number 2, any other reasons? There are 3, 4 reasons. Any other reasons you think why asking for salary on fixed basis in a factory is better? Whether factory makes good profit or not at the end, or whether factory is actually achieving growth or not, doesn't matter. Your pocket is safe. Correct? Those who say we want salary linked to our production or output, what is the reason? Why do you want it on output basis? You will be motivated to produce more. Number 1. Huh. So, okay, in piece rate, how much ever you want, you can work and earn more also. So there is a greater opportunity to earn more under unit based scheme, correct? Okay. Anything else? When I'm looking at you, I'm waiting for the answer. This pause is not to see how you look. I'm waiting if someone is answering. Yeah. I'm looking at you, you're looking at me. What is happening? I want the answer, I'm waiting. I have other works to do. Give me answers. Anything? Now, those who say unit based, do you agree with me? These people who say time based are those lazy kind of people which they will never agree. They say safety, we should get our payment irrespective of what happens to company, correct? But do you think there are weaknesses in either of these? Both, there is plus and minus. Now I'll just reverse the question and you see the answers now. If you start a new factory and if you hire workers and if you have to pay them salary, which method would you prefer? Those who said time based 2 minutes back, even they have the same answer. Why do you want your workers to be paid on unit basis? Correct. In summary, as an employee, you don't want to work. As an employer, you want your employees to work. Correct. Which means meeting point is not easy. What employees want and what employers want, there will be a conflict. Correct. You yourself in 2 minutes change the answer. And here we are talking about two different set of people. Those who have invested money and started business is different. Those who are working, they are different set of people. Obviously there will be a conflict. Now some students said, sir, we choose based on units because we will be motivated to work more. We can work more, we can earn more. There is a higher scope to earn more. You also think practically, if your wage is linked to units, don't you think the focus shifts from quality of work to quantity of work? And then your company will produce more, sell more, but at the same time, quality has taken a back seat. Now customers may not be so happy. You will get your salary because you have produced more. That means quality can be a problem if you connect salary to units. But time based employees, they can easily focus on quality also because they don't have units as a target. Whatever they do, they have to do for 9 to 6. For them, 9 to 6 is the target, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. If they work till 6 p.m., their ends. Correct? There is one more problem. Do you think people of all age group in a factory will agree to either based on time or based on units? Example, a 25 years old employee and a 55-year-old employee. Do you think both of them will choose the same answer? What do you think a 25-year-old man say? Units. And a 55-year-old man. And surprisingly in class, 19 and 20-year-olds also want time rate basis. Now understood. If people of same age range can think differently, then people of 25 and 55 working in the same factory will definitely think differently. And in between, people who do overtime would expect more than normal salary. People who work on weekends will ask for more compensation. People who work in night shift want extra payment, which means fixing salary itself is a big task. What we are trying to learn in this part of the chapter is under what different systems can we pay salary to all our direct workers. Sir, is there a method which makes everybody happy? The answer is no. You saw, not everybody will think alike. More importantly, in India, you cannot choose the method that you want because you have minimum wages act as per law and you cannot pay below minimum wages act. I repeat, you may want to pay on units basis, but if that salary comes below the number mentioned in minimum wages act, and if you pay employee below what is there in the act, then he can file a case against you, and then you will receive a notice as to why are you paying below minimum wages threshold. That time you cannot say our company has own policy, we pay on units basis. Understanding? Now you tell me some of the good examples where unit basis payment is very successful can be these cab drivers. They don't get salary paid on monthly or weekly basis. They get paid on trip basis or kilometer basis. That means they are encouraged to work more so that they earn more. Ola company also makes profit, driver also makes profit. Both are motivated because their earning is based on work. It is not 9 to 6 job and they won't get 25,000 fixed salary. Number one. Number two, these food delivery companies, Swiggy, Zomato, etc., those delivery boys, even their salary is based on the number of deliveries they make in a day. If they make this number of deliveries into an amount which is fixed to them, correct? Which means even they are motivated to do more deliveries so they can earn more. These are some easy examples for us to understand how unit based or output based wage or salary system can work well. But there are many places where salary is paid on fixed basis, which is monthly salary, weekly salary, daily wages, hourly rate, anything that you link to a time factor, hour, day, week, month, quarter, is all time rate system. If you're linking the salary to number of units, number of trips, number of kilometers, number of boxes, number of units, anything, all of that is called as piece rate system. Here we learn these two as first and second: simple time rate system and simple piece rate system. How to calculate total wages? We are using the word wage because we are discussing direct labor in this chapter. TW, total wage, is equal to time taken into hourly rate. How many hours you took into what is the rate per hour. Very simple. Second one is piece rate, where you pay based on units produced. That is why it is actual units produced into rate per unit. How I do it here is 9 hours into 10 rupees per hour, 90 rupee, whereas here it will be 21 units into 3 rupee per unit, that will be 63. One is linked to unit, another is linked to time. There are other two methods which are most commonly used. One is Halsey plan, another one is Rowan plan. Some students who have done their BCom or doing BCom might have studied these. May I know how many of you have studied this? You worried I'll ask questions? Don't worry, I won't ask questions. See now more. Okay, yeah. In your BCom curriculum, this list goes beyond Halsey and Rowan. ICA study material has only these two. Okay, those who have studied or those who will be studying, you have Halsey, Rowan, Taylor, Merrick, Emerson, Granta, so many different methods. ICA has considered only two, Halsey plan and Rowan plan, and that's all you need to know in CA Inter. Okay. Now even Halsey and Rowan may not be used by companies, because if I follow Halsey plan and salary to be paid to one worker comes to 5,990 rupees, but in India with Minimum Wages Act, the minimum threshold given there is 6,000 rupee, and if I pay even 1 rupee less than the limit given in the act, and if that employee, if he files a case against the company, and then if I get a notice from Labor Department, I cannot say I don't follow Minimum Wages Act, I follow Halsey method. Then they say you pay 10,000 penalty and you recover from Halsey only. Understanding? Which means though we learn these methods, understand that whether it will be used by the company or not depends on the amount that you have in Minimum Wages Act. If your Halsey or Rowan salary is coming to a number above that, then there is no problem. But if it comes 1 rupee below also, then you are violating the section there in the Minimum Wages Act, then you end up paying penalty for that. What Halsey says is, you first guarantee them some salary, time taken into hourly rate. First pay them some guaranteed wage. He calls it as basic pay. And then you have to encourage them to complete the work fast. For that, what you do, whatever time they save into whatever hourly rate, this much of money you save for the company, half of that you share it with the employee. Sir, how does this work? Take an example. You have allotted, say, standard time to complete production is 10 hours, and one employee completes the work in 8 hours, and his salary is 5 rupee per hour. Now Halsey says first you pay him for the work that he has done, which is time taken into hourly rate, that is 8 into 5. Correct? Plus he has saved some money to the company. How much did he save? 2 hours into 5 rupee, 10 rupee labor cost is saved to the company. You share half of that saving with him. So he will now be more encouraged to save so that he will get the share of that. Understanding? Rowan plan goes one step further. Look, this TT into HR is same, and inside the bracket TS into HR, time saved into hourly rate, is also same, but you don't fix it as 50%. Let's keep it proportional. Time taken by standard time, here it will be 8 by 10. Don't keep it as 50% fixed, make it 8 by 10, which may be 80% now. Correct? If it is 7, then 7 by 10. If it is 9, then 9 by 10. He says don't keep the rate fixed, keep it proportional. Understanding? Now, though we learn 4, in questions you may see methods other than these 4 also, because these 4 are not from some section, not that compulsorily you have to follow any of the 4. Understanding? Let's work out question number 6. Calculate earnings under Halsey plan and Rowan plan. Hourly rate 100 rupees. Standard time is also called as time allotted. If I say you should complete this work in 3 hours, it can be understood as standard time, also can be understood as time allotted also. It's one and the same. Actual time taken to produce 20 dozens is 48 hours. Let's do it. First, total wage under Halsey plan is equal to, what is the formula under Halsey plan? Time taken into hourly rate. Remember, this is your guaranteed salary. For whatever time you take, I'll pay you. But if you save something, half the money that you are saving, which is 50% of TS into HR. First of all, how many hours did they take? 48 hours. Am I right? Time taken to produce 20 dozens is 48 hours. And how much should you pay per hour? 100 rupee plus 50% of time that is saved. Now, how do I calculate time that is saved? It says standard time to produce 1 dozen is 3 hours, and you've actually produced 20 dozens. That means you should have taken 20 into 3, 60 hours. Are you following? To produce 1 dozen, you need 3 hours, and you've actually produced 20 dozens. That means you should have taken 60 hours, but you have actually taken only 48 hours. That means you have saved 12 hours. So this will be 60 minus 48 into hourly rate of 100. This will be 4800 plus 50% of, is this correct? Final number 5400. Don't be in a hurry to work out Rowan plan. There is something important for you to observe here. All of you stop writing. Listen. What if time taken is also 60 hours then? Then this will be 48 into 100 plus 0. 60 minus 60, everything is 0. What if time taken is 61 hours? Actual time taken is more than standard time, then what to do? Are you going to do minus? You can't deduct from their salary, it will still be 0 only. See, what we are promising them, that look, whatever you work into hourly rate you will get. If you save something, you will get something more. We never said if you take extra time we will deduct also. It is not both upside and downside. If you save you will get, you don't save you won't get. So sometimes if you have a question where actual time taken is more than standard time, don't deduct salary from that. Understanding? Number one. Number two, you must notice here, suppose this employee took 48 hours. Let me consider this as one employee. They took 48 hours. Another employee who completes the work in a better speed, he completes within say 38 hours. Okay, assume this is A, the one that you worked out is A. I have another employee who is B. He completes the same task in 38 hours. Now tell me, how much will he get? 38 into 100 plus 50% of, how much is the time saved now? 22 hours into 100. So this will be 3800 plus 50% of double 200 is double 100. Final answer is 4900. Is there anything wrong? Did you observe what is happening here? The one who took more time, who was slow, he earned 5400 rupee. The one who was fast, who saved more time to the company, is earning only 4900 rupee. Is there anything wrong? Imagine another guy who is very slow, Mr. C. He takes full 60 hours. You tell me how much will he earn? 60 into 100 plus 0. He is least bothered about this plus 0. He is anyway earning 6000. Correct? Then is Halsey plan illogical? Slow employees are earning more. If you can get it in 2 minutes, don't you think Halsey will know all this? Halsey is right. Think and tell me why Halsey is right, and comparing 5400, 4900, 6000 like this and saying someone is getting less even when he's speed, even when he's working at a good pace, that way of conclusion is wrong. Halsey is right. Tell me why Halsey is right. It's not qualitative. Nowhere you have quality in the work, in my workings. Yes, sir. Correct. His point is, sir, he is earning 5400 in just 48 hours. Suppose if there are 100 hours in say month or week or fortnight, he'll still have balance time to do. He can earn there. Did you understand? Is there any other way of proving that Halsey is correct? There is another easy way. I'm not looking at you, I'm waiting for the answer. There is a very easy way to prove that Halsey is correct, and there is a logic behind this formula. Correct. Okay, you are saying, sir, Mr. A out of 60 hours is working for only 48 hours and balance 12 hours is anyway idle. So he is not getting paid for being idle. That means it is your mistake to work early and sit idle. That means you're encouraging people to be slow. Think. That means sitting idle was the mistake of A. Then Mr. B did a bigger mistake. He has to sit idle for 22 hours. Now, idle time is not the point here. It's very, very simple. I'll wait for one more minute and then I'll only answer. Anybody can try. Sir, Mr. A saved 12 hours. That 12 hours he can use elsewhere, and there also he can earn. That is correct. That was the same point that one student said. I said there is another easier way to conclude it. Okay, this is the way to do. He worked for 48 hours and he earned 5,400. In calculator, 5,400 by 48, how much is he earning effectively? 102.5, 112.5. Okay. And what about this employee? He earned 4,900 in just 38 hours of work, 128.9. And this man earned 6,000 by working for 60 hours. He is earning only 100. That means fast guy is getting compensated well. Slow guy is getting paid less anyway. Halsey is correct. This is the easy thing to do. Another guy very, very, very fast. He completes the work in just 8 hours. Mr. D. 8 into 100 plus 50% off. 52 into 100. This will be what? 800 plus 2,600. 3,400 is his earning divided by just 8 hours. He is earning 425 rupee per hour. That means if you are faster, you should be earning more. Why will somebody make a formula which will encourage delay and discourage speed? Correct? Okay, well, coming back, we completed Halsey plan. Question says you have to work out even under Rowan. Start doing that. Rowan plan. Total wage is equal to TT into HR plus, now it is proportional, TT by ST into TS into HR. TT into HR will continue as it is, that is 48 hours into 100 plus 48 by 60 into 12 into 100. 4800 plus what? 960. 5760. Can somebody confirm this? Yes. One important thing you should remember is this portion is called basic pay, and this portion, whatever comes after plus, is your bonus or incentive. If you want, just make a note. In both Halsey and Rowan plan, the TT into HR which you are writing is your base pay. Whatever you write after the sign plus is your incentive or bonus, which is linked to your efficiency. Done? Yes. We will have to take a break now. It's 5:30. We'll start at 6. and we'll have to start from question number 7.